Public administration, especially local government, and I teach a lot of our research design and statistics classes as well. No, I thought about writing when I was a little kid because I read a lot of children's books. So I think when I was little I wanted to be a world famous children's book author. And then later I got involved in student government activities, and I thought it would be good to continue being involved with that in some way. And then my parents were then and then still today involved in a lot of community activities, wanting to make a difference in the community. So I think a lot of that I really connected with and helped them out with some of their activities. Parts of it I think I kind of knew all along, because when I went to college, the professors that I spent the most time with were those that were also involved in activities or had a career before going into teaching. So one of my faculty members had been the mayor of San Luis Obispo and is still teaching and just recently retired from the San Luis Obispo City Council. And then another had been in the Peace Corps and had worked for the federal government before going back to graduate school. So I think I always had that in the back of my mind. And then when I was working for the city of Chino, I had a couple of co-workers who had gone back to school and were doing some teaching. But mainly I started doing a lot of outreach for recycling programs. And I got to this point where, do I want to become a city manager someday? It's a very all-consuming career in its own way, where you sometimes aren't as close to the other employees and in mentoring, or do I want to continue on this path of being able to connect with people interested in this subject and be able to do more sort of one-on-one mentoring? And so I just found myself increasingly drawn towards teaching and being able to kind of research what was behind what I was doing professionally. Actually, I did a little bit of substitute teaching when I was first applying for city jobs, and then I was working for the city of Chino, and we started a curbside recycling program, and I started getting asked to do recycling presentations. And so it went from 3-year-olds up to working adults at night. And so I kind of got this sense of that the working adults were really the type of students I most wanted to work with. One of the things I do is oversee our internship program. And so I meet a fair amount with students who are trying to apply to jobs in government or get that first internship or get that promotion. And so that interaction alone, I've helped them with resumes, what agencies to contact, and I've seen several of our students get hired or promoted. So I see that pretty directly. In terms of the teaching, I try to do more project-oriented assignments, especially in our master's program, so that they can really sort of build up a skill set, and then if they're doing an interview for promotion or getting hired, they can say, I worked on this project and here's the skill set that I can bring to you. It comes down a lot just to staying in touch with people, interacting with people. So I attend Women Leading Government meetings, and they have a monthly conference call for people to kind of confidentially share issues and trends and things going on in their workplace. So I pick up a fair amount there. A lot of our students are working in the field, and so drawing them out more in class discussion as opposed to lecture helps a lot. I also teach a fair amount of statistics classes, and on those it's keeping up with the technology that's the big thing. And what I try to do is sort of translate or bridge research design and statistics to what they're doing professionally, because a lot of our students they got into public service to help people, not to crunch numbers all the time. But at the same time, in order to deliver effective services, they need to be able to evaluate their programs, they need to be able to present data and information. And so I try to bridge that, and that interaction also keeps me current. It's really the sense of discovery. And if we're all doing that together, those are really the classes that really stick with me. Probably this book on mayoral elections. So I've been writing book chapters on elections for a number of years, and one of the editors of the series I was involved with wanted to do a book on mayoral elections, and he's in Florida, and I'm out here in California, and we've lined up a bunch of top-notch urban politics scholars, and I'm also helping lead the program on a conference in spring, and so we're going to bring the authors out to have a live discussion. So a lot of the folks I'm working with I've never met before, and so that's kind of the next thing research-wise.